All right, we're back. 20-second countdown gets longer every week. Today's special guest is half-dressed Ace Austin. How we doing, Ace?
I'm great.
Yeah,
looking good. We gotta switch that screen around so we can see more Ace. Let me see there. There we go. Now we can see more Ace.
All right.
Yeah. He hasn't worn a shirt since 1999. Were you born? When were you born? You're
97.
97, yeah. So his mom tried to keep him dressed, but it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't working. So he does all of his interviews shirtless.
All right. Well, let's see the guns, man. Let's pop them out there while we're here. There we go.
Top right there.
Look at that.
I try to do all my appearances shirtless. I mean, I hide it.
Yeah, it's and with a set of abs like that, you do not wear a shirt, Gary.
If I had them, I would definitely show them.
Right.
I got one big one. Hey, you go ahead and take it away, Terry. I'm going to share this stuff, right?
Ace, we've known each other for a while. Actually, you got a victory over me in Impact Wrestling. And now, when did you get started in wrestling? What drew you into wrestling? And when did you make your Impact debut?
So, my family was wrestling fans. I went to a couple of shows when I was like a really, really young kid, and I don't really have any memories of that. But I do remember like a specific instance of kind of falling in love with wrestling when I was watching it on TV when I was like 4. I remember seeing Shawn Michaels come off the top rope, and that's like my first memory of wrestling is like that Shawn Michaels moment for me. I think it was actually Shawn Michaels versus RVD on an episode of Raw. Yeah, so that's kind of what like made up my mind. And then I never stopped saying that I was going to be a pro wrestler. Like growing up, that's what I told my mom. That's what I told anybody that would listen always, was that I was going to be a wrestler. I didn't know that wrestling schools existed or anything for a long time. So when I was in like middle school, and they wanted us to start looking at like potential colleges or something when I was in like 8th grade or whatever, I thought I looked up I found a stuntman college in California. So I thought like maybe stuntman college would be a good idea. So like, I kind of looked into that. And then when I was in high school was when I found out about like wrestling schools, actual wrestling schools. So I started looking into those, and I found the Wild Samoans. But the website that I found was for the one down in Florida, in Mineola. So I started making plans to move to Florida after I graduated high school. I was working at Hot Topic. I still work at Hot Topic to this. I've worked over 10 years. Yeah, that's another. But
you'd be able to get a shirt then.
Yeah.
No, Gary, we do not put a shirt on.
That's right. My bad. I like to cover what I got. Yeah.
He equals ratings, okay? Austin with a shirt on, ratings aren't that good. We got to keep him with the shirt off.
Yeah.
Now I feel like
knows that. We know that. So
now we're taking advantage of him.
we're just stealing you for your rating ability.
I feel dirty.
So you're working on Hot Topic.
Yeah. So I started saving up like my paychecks because I was going to move to Florida after I graduated from high school. I had been saving for a little over a year when I was at rehearsal for the musical that year that I was in. I believe it was either Grease or Titanic. It was either my 11th or 12th grade year. I got a phone call from my boss at Hot Topic, and he was like, hey, somebody just came in here to buy, some like accessories to go with their outfit. They said that they're a manager and they train at a school in Allentown, Pennsylvania called Wild Samoans. And I was like, hold on a minute. What are you talking about? So, they gave me the information, and I found out that there was a school in Allentown, Pennsylvania that Samu ran. So off the one down in Florida, Samu runs the one in Pennsylvania. So that totally changed, everything about my plans. I didn't have to move to Florida anymore. Because Allentown was like an hour and 15 minutes from, where I was growing up. in Pennsylvania. So so I got in touch with them and I started setting up, potential stuff. I had to do a senior so it had to be my 12th grade year. It would have had to been the Titanic musical because I was working on my senior project and I had to do, I was going to do it on wrestling. And that's what the whole conversation was initially about. I called the school and I talked to Samu and I set up this, they had a big show coming up on March 1st of 2014. And Rafa was coming up to like have his retirement match and stuff like that. And he was going to do a seminar and stuff. So it was the perfect timing. So I called the school and I talked to Samu directly and I told him I had to work on this senior project. I had to do an on-site visit. I had to interview people. I had to take a bunch of pictures and it was the whole thing. I had to write a paper on it to graduate. So I told Samu about this. And he was like, yeah, we can help you with that. No problem. I asked him, what age do you start training? Because I'm totally interested. And he said 17 with parental consent. So my birthday is February 28th. So I turned 17 the day before March 1st of 2014. So it totally lined up. Totally is perfect. It could not have worked out better. So I showed up to get my project done and also sign up for training. And I trained with Samu for over a year. I wasn't allowed to start wrestling on shows in Pennsylvania until I was 18. That was like the mission. So so I got like a solid year of training in, and then debuted in April of 2015. And then I didn't stick around in one spot for too long. That's kind of been the key to my success so far, I think. Constantly moving around. Because I spent my first year as an actual wrestler with Samoans still, and then I started spending some more time out in New Jersey with the CZW dojo, which is where I met all these really successful independent wrestlers, and it's kind of where I started to really learn about independent wrestling. Was out in the East Coast, because training with Samu, you're kind of just training with WWE in mind. You're really just trying to work Samu shows and try to get an opportunity with WWE. That's kind of it. So the time I spent with the CZW dojo was really what opened up my eyes to like all these guys that were traveling the world and getting these opportunities on their own and making their own, their own names. And so my goals kind of changed. I didn't just want to wrestle for the WWE anymore. I wanted to be a pro wrestler. I wanted to travel. I wanted to do.
Get on the road and hit the different towns and build your name and your character, and then just that feel the ascension. Yeah,
so much more to it. So I spent around a year and a half just traveling the East Coast, spending more time in New Jersey. I made some really good friends with CZW guys, and I would go to shows with them all up and down the East Coast of New York and North Carolina and everywhere. And then eventually I started going out to the Midwest with some of those guys too. And that's where I started to meet Sammy Callahan. And my connection with Sammy is what ended up having me move to Ohio then, later. So after I spent, a little over a year Pennsylvania, a little over a year out on the East Coast with Jersey and stuff, and then I moved to the Midwest. So around 3 years into my career, I moved to the Midwest, and that was the end of 2017. Then I spent a whole lot of time in the Midwest, started building my name in the Midwest. Wrestling was really hot out there at that point in time in 2018. When 2018 rolled around, that was like the most successful year of like my rookie career, really. Right. That's when I got an opportunity to do 205 Live with WWE, and that was because of my connection with the Samoans. It was really just like I got a phone call one day and it was like, hey, WWE's coming to the Midwest. If you want to do extra work, we can hook up. So I said absolutely, and they hooked up. I got the 205 Live gig. It went really well. They were interested in me, and then I got an opportunity with MLW like a month after, and they were also interested. And meanwhile, the whole time I was living with Sammy and traveling with Sammy. So Impact was already interested in me before that, because I was always showing up with Sammy. to do like the Twitch shows and all that stuff. So I was always around. And then when things started really going well in 2018 is when Impact, finally made like an offer. And I think it had a lot to do with I did a one night only in Mississauga, in Canada, and I wrestled Mr. Atlantis, and it was like the opening match for this like one night only show or whatever. And I remember like after that match was when I feel like Scott was kind of sold on me. So then they made me an offer at the end of 2018, and I signed to start in February of 2019. So my first match was at the Vegas tapings toward the end of February in 2019. I don't know the date that it aired. I can't remember the date that it aired. I think it was March.
In the couple of years you were there, I mean, you've actually made like a not necessarily a drastic transformation, but you can see how you've grown, not only as a talent, but as your character and your star power is growing. You can definitely see and feel that. So
yeah, the first 4 months were kind of like let's see what he can do. They had me like work with PD and do a bunch of exhibition stuff in the first 4 months, and then that's when like Don was really like liked what I was doing, and he started kind of doing more stuff with me and helping me just develop and create a star power and kind of figure out who I was. And I'd never been I was wrestled as a on the indies beforehand, and then when I came to Impact, it was like I had to flip that switch because they wanted a bad guy. So
well, right. I think the big question is, did you land the role of Jack Dawson in the play, or what did you play in Titanic?
So it's actually Jack and Rose are totally made up characters for the movie. The musical is about what actually happened.
Oh, okay.
You play like real people that were actually on the ship, and like you tell the whole story as it actually happened for the most part. I mean, there's always going to be dramatizations for the show, but I played had two characters. I was Third Officer Herbert Pittman. So I was one of the ship hands in charge of some of the lifeboats and stuff, and I had some other. I had a song to myself at the beginning when I was boarding people onto the boat. It was really cool. And then I played one of the first class passengers named the Major. So I was like this war vet who was the comedic relief. So I was like the only person for the most part in the show when I was playing as the Major that was like I was making people laugh during these really harsh moments in the show. So
that's really cool. Now, is that something you've always wanted to do? Is that acting?
Yeah, if it wasn't for wrestling, consuming all of my time, like if I didn't love wrestling the way that I do, theater is definitely what I would invest my time in. I wish I had more time for it, but wrestling is way too important so I don't really.
Well, you're young. You're young. Maybe these doors open. This door open these doors later on.
Oh, it will. I'm confident it will.
I think so too. We got a couple questions. Oh, go ahead. You want to go ahead?
No, go ahead, Gary.
Rita Doobie said, "Hey guys," and she also wants to know, "Hey Ace, what's your ultimate goal?" I don't know if she means in wrestling or in life or just bodybuilding or whatever it is.
Well, ultimately it's just like to keep moving forward. I'm a really forward-oriented kind of person. I just try to like constantly advance towards something. Wrestling is always what I wanted to do. So when I got there, my goals changed. So like, your goals are always kind of changing. But ultimately, I kind of want to be, I'm trying to be as famous as good old Dwayne Johnson one day. Right?
There you go.
I want to make some Dwayne Johnson money.
There it is. And I want to say I was the one that helped make you change. After our match, I seen that growth, and it was like strap a rocket on his back, send him to the moon. So
I wasn't even like
take credit.
Shit, I wasn't even in that tournament, and then it was like they did the Shamrock got taken out of the tournament, so then they put me in, and our match was the first round. So like after that is really like picked my momentum up going into Slammiversary.
Right.
this world champion thing. So like, yeah, that was.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
As long as you invite me on the set for catering, that's all I'm worried about. So.
Hey, Daniel Price said, "Hey, Terry looks a lot like Rhino." So I guess the secret's out. Might as well change the name now.
No, Rhino doesn't wear a hat.
Right.
Oh, you got AJ, Joe, and Daniels put a lot of respect on the X Division belt when they were there.
Yeah,
so that's been around for a long time then, right? The TNA X Division belt.
Yeah, I had my first run was really like it was great. It was a little over 6 months. I got to do really like a lot of great stuff with it. Winning it in a ladder match Bound for Glory was like huge for me too personally because like I've always been growing up. I was always a fan of the ladder match. I was always a ladder match. I wanted to be a ladder match guy. So like to do that in a ladder match was super special. And yeah, I'm.
How do you train for a ladder match? I mean, I know you take, how do you train for a ladder match? Is that something you can just go out there and practice, or is that something you just spur of the moment kind of get?
Yeah, you kind of just have to have a lot of like. There's a lot of I've been training in parkour since I was like a young teenager. Something I got really interested into. So that has a lot to do with like just body control and like it's really like a discipline. It's almost like martial arts, in a way. So I think that is what really helps me get the edge with like ladder matches because I really in the ring pretty well, and I can control my body in some really crazy situations.
See, just to let you know, Gary's wife, her ideal of parkour is a lot different. She'll run up to Gary and yell parkour and hit him in the face with a frying pan. And then Gary's like, "Why'd you do that?" And she's like, "It's parkour. I'm in training."
Why are you telling my secret? She's actually on here watching because she just said,
I'm giving her ideas.
Super cool, positive guy. Such a great wrestler to watch. I imagine she's talking about you, Ace. She's not talking about Terry.
Definitely not talking about me.
Thanks for the gift, John.
Right. So,
well, definitely. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying to Ace that we definitely want to get him up here for the wrestling shows we do up here at IWR. So we're gonna probably set a date after the May 20th show. So yeah, we'll have to do that. I think you and Troy would be a great match. They're trying to get Tammy up here. Madman Fulton, we've gotta have him up. So
yeah, me, Fulton, and Sammy all live like right,
yeah,
10 minutes of each other.
So, but yeah, well, I think there's so many people that you would have a great match with.
Oh yeah,
and then the fans would love to see that.
I think him and Rohit would be an awesome match.
Oh yeah.
We haven't. We actually were just talking about that at tapings the other day. Like we haven't had a singles match anywhere yet. Me and Rohit. So
yeah, there you go. Yeah. Gary, you're the first, man.
Oh no! Don't put me on the spot.
Right.
Hey, you know what? You can't spell Titanic without TNA.
Yeah, that's funny. You're right.
We got a lot of questions here. So we can keep going through these if you want. Rita says she was Margarita Spedden, first-class passenger at the Titanic exhibit in Tennessee.
That's awesome. That's so cool. That's amazing.
Now, obviously, you've watched the movie. It came out, I think, the same year you were born. Now, what are your thoughts on the movie? And then if they did a movie like that, would you be interested in something like that? Are you more of a romantic kind of guy? What type of acting would you like to get into? Action, comedy, what?
I've been a superhero fan my whole life, so I've always wanted to play a superhero, particularly in the Batman realm of things. Yeah, Batman is my favorite superhero for sure. So I always wanted to be in some sort of a Batman movie. I actually almost had the opportunity to do so recently. We started filming some stuff, but the project got canceled just the other day. Definitely action stuff for sure. But I really want to be capable of anything. I want to be able to do whatever. But I think obviously the biggest difference between the musical and the movie is like the musical is a lot more, you know, musical oriented. There's like song and dance numbers as opposed to just like with the movie.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, like I don't think I think the movie's great. It's Hollywood, you know. It's a really good Hollywood rendition of a kind of story like that. But I think putting the focus on two people that didn't actually exist is, you know, like it totally could have been done a little differently. They could have told the real story, you know. But yeah, sure. I mean, there could be an opportunity for that still. There's always.
Well, I think I see you not as Batman, but as Gambit.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Your character reminds me a lot of Gambit, anyways.
Yeah, and that it's on purpose now, but it was accidental at first.
Okay.
I want to try to get into some bow staff training, because I'd love to be able to like do that kind of stuff. The bow staff stuff.
Gambit's a superhero, Rhino.
Yeah, I had no idea what.
X-Men. I actually have I have 2 Gambit figures on my shelf over here, and a Mattel figure.
Now, who would win out of a fight between? Obviously, Batman's your guy. Batman's my guy. I hate when people say he's not really a superhero, which is full of crap.
Yeah,
Gary's one of those guys.
I am not.
Because I need Gary in my life. No, but who do you think would win out of a fight between Spider-Man and Superman?
Spider-Man and Superman.
Yeah,
There's only one right answer, Ace.
It's gotta be Superman. Yes.
Oh!
I love Spider-Man, I do, but like, I don't know. Superman would just, I don't know.
That's the end of Terry and Gary's Low Expectations podcast with Ace Austin. I think you guys for the show today. It's been a fun time.
I'm huge Spider-Man. Hey, who won out of in the movie Batman versus Superman?
Wonder Woman.
No, I mean, like nobody really won. It was like they and then they joined forces because they, you know, create the Justice League basically. So it's.
We got Sean Woolley, who's also an independent wrestler around here. He also said Ace, you could be a fantastic Red Hood or Nightwing.
That'd be sweet. Yeah, Nightwing, especially if I get the bow staff training. You know?
There you go.
Good, sweet Nightwing.
And you got a bunch of people getting new parts now. David Matheny, I can see this dude play the part of Weird Cannibal.
A Buffalo Bill or something, huh?
I want to be Buffalo Bill.
Oh, sorry, he meant the X-Force character Cannonball.
Okay.
So you're set. I mean, you got 5 different characters you can play right there. So we just got hooked up with Warner Brothers or whoever it is, and
for sure,
get on that.
Now, the cool thing about with Impact is you can audition, and if you can get a role, you know, they'll allow you to go do that and then come back. You know, and that's a cool thing. So definitely, you're really young, so you have a lot of opportunities to do that too, and you know, always keep wrestling, because even Cena, you know, he'd go do his films, but he'd also come back, and when the time is right, you know, where you want to do more of that, you know, than wrestling, you know. So that's, I mean, you're definitely in a great position, you know, so, especially this early in your career.
Yeah, I've tried really hard to like to spend these early years of my career really like pushing forward as like far and as fast as I can, so that I kind of have a head start, because I want to have those options. I want, like, I'm only 24 right now, and like I make my living on wrestling. You know, I have the Hot Topic job still, but it's only because they've never made me choose. They've always like additionally worked around my schedule and really been supportive of everything I've done. And even when, like I told you, I started in Pennsylvania. So when I moved to Ohio, I transferred stores too, and I kind of changed positions. It was really difficult working at the Hot Topic in Pennsylvania because they needed me as a sales associate, which is typically like more of like a evening, afternoon, you know, high traffic kind of like, you know, I got to help people in the store. But that's when I usually wasn't available because of wrestling. I was always training in the afternoon, evening hours, or I was going to shows or whatever. So when I moved to Ohio, they had some kind of more morning positions available that I could do different stuff with. So yeah, they've really they've always been, like I said, just super supportive, and they've never, the day that they say like, hey, you got to do the shift or choose, well then I'm going to choose wrestling, you know. And
so mornings you get more of the grandmas coming in buying clothes for their grandkids, or
with the COVID stuff has made it super weird because the mall hours are like really limited now. So it's actually made it a lot easier. I don't think it should go back to the way it was. I don't think the mall needs to be open as long as it used to be, in my opinion, because like people come in and just get shopping done and get out. It's really like we make the same amount, if not more money now than we did when we were open all day, and we're spending less obviously to operate the store. So like, it's really like really flipped it upside down. But
Hot Topic CEO Ace Austin.
Yeah, I've never moved up. Like I've never like been promoted or anything like that specifically because I don't want them to need anything more from me than I can give. Right. So I gotta just keep it very like, you know, I just show up and do the stuff that needs to get done, the heavy lifting. I get to move a lot of the heavy stuff. I literally do the heavy lifting, like at the store. I like move a lot of the heavier boxes up in the loft and like just do a lot of like organization kind of stuff and just cleaning up and whatever. And I get a really sweet discount, which is another reason why I have to do it for so long. I get a sweet discount. No, I like.
We know where to go, Gary, when we need our Hot Topic stuff.
Well, my kids would probably like it.
Right. Well, that's a good thing because it keeps your hand involved in business too. Even though you're doing like, you know, the heavy lifting, it seems like you have a business sense to you. And that's very important when you're in wrestling business, dealing with promoters, dealing with contracts, you know, and as you climb the ladder, you know, you're more knowledgeable about stuff like that. And then you can handle a lot of stuff on your own and talk to and negotiate for yourself too. So, and in Hollywood, it'll help out, you know, so, and plus you're doing people person stuff too. So.
I think it's helped a lot with like merch sales. It's really helped me like push merch better, like how to make deals with like, you know, stuff and just like, definitely helped me a lot with that.
What did Daniel say?
Reverse time, so he wins.
Whatever,
Daniel. Don't come in here with that.
Yeah, Daniel. What about Doc Brown and his time machine, the DeLorean?
Yeah.
Time. Michael J. Fox wins.
Yeah, Superman. Well, no.
Well,
Spiderman or Batman can definitely afford a time machine. Go back in time.
Tony Stark can build one.
Smart enough.
Yeah. I love Hot Topics. Best place to find my skull clothes.
Yes, sure is. I like to do my pop shop in there. I have a pop collection, pop figure.
Oh, you collect the Funko Pops? You collect you got Funko Pops, Terry?
What's that?
You got Funko Pops, Terry?
I have no idea what that is.
That's why I asked you.
I'm just trying to sell the last few docs over here at the boatyard. I watch some History Channel, you know, that stuff. But anyway, well, we're getting to about 30 minutes. So, yeah, I got one of those.
That's the Crow Funko Pop signed by James O'Barr. He was at our show.
That's sick.
Nice.
And he'll be at our show this year too. James O'Barr, creator of the Crow. Want to get that plug in there for the Mineral Pop Fest.
Yeah, when is the Mineral Pop Fest, Gary?
September 17th and 18th this year. Went to 2 days, so we can expand for COVID, for social distancing and stuff. So looking forward to it. We can't wait. We got Doug Jones coming down. He played Abe Sapien. He's in Star Trek Discovery right now as Captain Sir. Amazing guy. We got Scout Taylor Compton, who played Laurie Strode in Halloween, the Rob Zombie Halloween. She's coming down. We had Tyler Mann a couple years ago, who was actually Michael Myers, and he was a big hit. My wife couldn't stop staring, so it was pretty awesome. It's a fun show. Yeah. I'm sure I'll send you a poster, flyer there, Ace, so we can.
All right.
But if you ever come CEO of Hot Topic, ban the Bucks.
What are the Bucks?
I don't know. Is he talking about the Young Bucks? Is he talking about
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely talking about the Young Bucks.
They got clothes there.
Yeah. I mean, AEW has shirts and hot topic right now. I've actually been. I haven't talked to Impact about it yet, but I've been like talking to Hot Topic about essentially, if Impact is interested, trying to get that to work.
Yeah, that would, especially with us working together with AEW and stuff. Yeah, I think that would be a good situation. Now, how are their merchandise sales? You know, a lot of wrestling fans come in and grab the shirts up, or do you think wrestling fans are more online for t-shirts?
No, I get recognized on a pretty regular basis working there. Wrestling fans come in pretty frequently.
Do you have your shirt on or off when you're recognized?
Unfortunately on, but they don't recognize me when the shirt's on. So what I gotta do is make sure they see the hair, right? I usually wear like a hat or whatever when I'm working. And right now, since we got to wear the masks, it's really like totally incognito, like hat, shirt, they don't know. So if I see a wrestling fan, if I see somebody shopping wrestling t-shirts or something, I'll usually take my hat off. They'll immediately be like, oh, wait a minute.
You're basically like wrestling's version of Superman then. Take the
mask
off.
That's my Clark Kent right there.
There you go.
I bet they get a kick out of it too.
Yeah.
Always. I would go in there and what really happens, Gary, is someone's like, you look familiar. He takes the hat off and he takes his shirt off and they're like, Ace Austin, I knew it.
I know the nipples.
Right.
That's funny.
All right, you want to start wrapping it up, Gary?
Yeah, sure. We can show whenever you want.
Do we have any more questions or?
Oh, we got Dot Brown. Daniel Price said Dot Brown don't need no roads.
Nope.
Yeah.
Right. We don't need any roads.
May 20th, IWR tickets are on sale right now. www.purplepath.com/IWR4. We got the main event, our own Rhino versus Larry D from Impact Wrestling. And we also have Rohit, Ravishing Rohit, as he likes to be called, facing Johnny, the Swingman Swinger, with his sidekick. I think Johnny Bravo be in Rohit's corner. And who do we got in Johnny Swinger's corner?
Big Daddy Dave Powell.
Big Daddy Dave Powell?
Yeah. Monroe's favorite son next to Gary. I'm trying to make stuff up. Yeah. So Gary's Monroe's favorite son. So
I'm something here. I don't know about that.
I just wrestled in Monroe for TKW a few like last month sometime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably pretty close. That was Monroe County, I'd imagine. I think it was Brownstown, maybe, or
I don't remember.
I think TKO has New Jack coming in at Taylortown this month.
Okay.
So yeah, I think they run some promotions up around Brownstown area.
Yeah. Right next to Monroe.
Yeah, I mean Monroe County. It's all Monroe.
You know what? Actually, I think it was Monroe, North Carolina that I wrestled in.
Oh well, whatever.
Yeah. But I did wrestle for TKW in Michigan recently. I'm not sure. I can't remember where it was in Michigan.
Right. Yeah. Close. Yeah.
North Carolina, Michigan. I mean,
I just heard Monroe and like.
Right. Don't you hate that? You're in so many towns. Like you start piecing different towns and states together.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever done the rock and roll thing? Hello, Springfield, and you're in like
Well, so I write down all my matches. So like, I've wrestled in 26 states, so far, and 4 countries. So
nice. Have you ever had that wrestler's dream where a wrestler's nightmare where your music's playing and you haven't tied your boots and you're not ready?
That's happened to me in real life. so yeah, it happened to me. Like one of my first, somewhere within my first 10 matches, I was working for this place in Pittsburgh called like PW Express or something like that, and I literally had one shoe on, and it was like, oh, your music. Somebody came upstairs and they're like, oh, your music's playing right now, and I was like, well, I guess keep playing it because like I'm not even dressed yet.
Right.
Put that on repeat. Just keep going. Hey, Sean Woolley said it was Brownstown because he was on that show. He was on that card. Thanks, Sean.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
But all good things got to come to an end. So we're going to end this show with Terry singing us a little song. You're a
happy birthday. I don't know.
I was gonna have Ace sing us a song since he's the theater guy, but I didn't want to put him on the spot. I don't care if I put you on the spot.
Right. Hey, where can people find you at, Ace?
You can find me on the Instagram and the Twitter the same. It is at @the_Ace_Austin. If you go to either of those social medias, you'll find a link in the bio that'll take you to everything else. It'll take you to my merch stores. I got PWTs. I have my Impact merch. My Micro Brawler just dropped, my first figure ever, so that's super exciting.
Congratulations.
Brawlers. I signed a whole bunch of those just this past weekend to get shipped out. I have a bunch of other. I have a bunch of enamel pins and collector cards and all kinds of stuff like that available in that link. Also, my Cameo. If people want to order Cameo from me, I like to have them choose a number between 1 and let's see, where am I at now? 650. Pick a number between 1 and 650, and I will tell you where I was, who I wrestled, all that. It'll give you the number. So,
right.
Can you do that? Can you get a number and then tell people exactly what you were doing that day and who you wrestled?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, but I can tell you, I got a crazy, awesome memory where if you give me a month and a year, I can tell you what I was doing in my life. Yeah. I could probably narrow it down to, it's really weird. When were you born in 97?
February. What were you doing in February 90?
Okay. Oh, well,
keep it clean.
It was right before, it was actually going dirty, but it was right before I met this girl. Well, I known her, and we had just started dating like at the end of February, and she's from Monroe here. And it lasted a little bit into March. It didn't last long, but it was a good run. I'll tell you, it was a real good run. Yeah.
Sometimes I forget what you're going to say.
I could have had a child 9 months younger than you if I didn't.
Rhino Jr. It was awesome having you on, Ace. Future superhero, current superhero, indeed. Ace Austin. Big things coming. I can just feel it. Terry, we're out of here. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, all of them. Get your links, your uploads. Start watching, start subscribing. We'll be back next week with pro wrestler Stan Beal. So,
thank you guys.
Yeah, another young coming. You guys start getting some older guys. I feel old. Yeah, all these young shirtless dudes running around.
Right.
Put some clothes on. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for coming on. See you later, Austin.
Thank you. Bye.
Gun show. All right.